Point for the Geico World Series of Bowling. We're in the arena for today's PBA Chameleon Finals, but the actual qualifying for this event took place in the South Point Bowling Center. Walter Ray Williams Jr. led through most of the 14 games of qualifying, but that was not enough to hold off Jason Belmonte, who really came alive in the round of 16, jumping from number 3 to number 1. Belmo posting big numbers of 278, 269, and 286 in the final 6 games. After missing the televised Viper finals by just 2 pins last week, Scott Norton had no problem making today's show. And it looked like former Player of the Year Tommy Jones would be joining Norton, Williams, and Belmonte in the Chameleon final, throwing a 278 in the second to last game, qualifying to move into 4th place. But Jones could manage only a 204 in the final game, which opened the door for Fawaz Abdullah. Coach Tim Mack doing what he could do to help Abdullah make the show. Fawaz needing a 234 or better to knock Jones out, and no problem for the Bahrainian. He made today's finals with 5 pins to spare, much to his and his teammates' relief, the first player from the Middle East to make a PBA Tour final. And there are the final pinfall totals from qualifying. The red and white colors of Bahrain being represented very well here today by Fawaz Abdullah. Let's get an update now on how he's feeling from the third member of our broadcast team, Kimberly Preston.
Well, I just spoke with Tim Mack, Fawaz's coach, during the break, and he said that Fawaz is performing at about 60%. He says his adrenaline is going right now, but he is not about to give up this chance because it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and he's going to push through it.
What a performance so far, Randy. Iranian team here up close and personal to watch their number 3 guy try to win a championship here on the PBA Tour. Abdullah with that painful foot. Now Scott Norton trailing by 11 pins, as you see, working on a double. Oh, 7 pin, painful.
Scotty's made some great shots in this match too. He hasn't missed a flush. The only blemish is the whip 10 pin. He could easily have the front 6 right now. This guy comes from good genes, though. His mother's a USBC and PWBA Hall of Famer.
Virginia Norton.
Yeah.
She's here today. There is Craig Woodward, Scott Norton's spouse. They were married just over a year ago. Scott formally announced last May that he is gay, although he says most everyone already knew it. There are his parents in the upper left of your screen, Rick and Virginia Norton. Scott is grateful for all the support he's received from family and friends, both on the lanes and off.
I can't even begin to tell you how much my support system means to me at home. My best friend, Missy Parkin, and her husband, Drew, and my mom and dad, and my husband, and all of my other friends and family that have done nothing but support me and be there for me throughout my life. So this is for them, because I wouldn't be here without them. To have the support system that I have, on top of being able to be strong inside myself, is what's gotten me to this point. So it's all credit to them.
It's taken a lot of courage for Scott to come out, and he said he's glad he did. And he got the strike that time as the 7 pin finally went down.
Yeah, Scotty's a good person and a great kid. There's a lot of people that are really proud of him. He's pretty proud of this shot, too, for all 10 going down for a change, and his ball did hit the pocket.
3 out of 4 for Scott, but still trailing.
This is going to be an interesting shot for me now, watching Fawaz Abdullah on the right lane. Last time he went high, his coach said, give it some room on that right lane, it'll hook.
Oh, it's trying to hook. Did not come back far enough. Do you see anything different in his approach now halfway through this game, Randy, than you saw earlier?
I don't, but that shot there was just an errant shot right. This is way too far outside. You can see that ball was never going to get back from that point.
Clean opens it up. He grabbed that leg after his initial ball. I don't know if he was just wiping his hand or he was feeling some extra pain there. But I have to imagine the way he was walking around here to be on his feet as much as he is right now for the first time in quite a while. It's got to be a challenge, but he is leading by 12.
And the only reason why he is leading is because of the bad pin carry by Scott Norton. And Fawaz did string a double there in the third and fourth. I wouldn't give Scott Norton too many other opportunities. He needs to start striking. And that's the worst leave, non-splitter washout that you can leave on this tour because of that back pin, the 9-pin.
Abdullah with some work to do here to clean it up.
You got to get the ball over in here, and you got to get it to hook into that spare to cover that back 9-pin. The problem is if you get a little too far to the right, it hangs, and if you get it inside of target, you're going to chop it.
Critical ball for the Bahrainian. Yeah, he leaves one. Yeah. That was a tough one.
And that's going to be a big problem for him. He lost count, and it's an open frame, and Scott Norton's working on a strike, and he has not missed the pocket yet.
So a much tighter match now as Norton now with the ball and his 8th frame. He has a battle on his hands, maybe one he didn't quite expect fully. Norton now with a small lead, strikes on that right side. He starts running to the door opened by Abdullah.
Scott Norton showing his own maple moxie. Watch this.
Now it's Norton up by 13.
He's just getting ready to slam the door on Fawaz Abdullah. Talk about taking advantage of an open frame.
A 3-bagger for Norton, looking for his 2nd PBA title, 2nd title on this pattern. Still has a lot of work to do. Now, the 9th for Abdullah. That'll make that leg feel better.
That was a really good shot, too. You could just tell as soon as he let go of it, he had really good balance, followed through right at the target. Ball was on line perfectly. He needs to strike out now to shoot 214. Scott Norton right now is at 217, but striking out in the 10th frame will force Norton to mark in the 10th.
Now trying to close strong. You heard him exhorting the ball to go, go, go.
Scott Norton just needs to stay behind the foul line and keep the ball on the lane, and he's going to move on.
Fawaz Abdullah from Bahrain made history in this match. The first Middle Eastern bowler to bowl a PBA title match. And it looks like he will not be going home with the championship. What a performance. What a week it was for the whole Bahrainian team, but this man in particular. He came into our interview session on crutches. He then went to the hospital in a wheelchair, tried to stay off that foot as much as possible, and has not had a chance to be on the lanes very much at all. There's a nice ball from Fawaz Abdullah.
Fawaz Abdullah, it was a pleasure meeting you, sir.
What a performance. Richly rewarded by the crowd here in Las Vegas. Fawaz Abdullah, you made your country proud. And you see what Norton needs just to stay behind the foul line, as you mentioned, Randy. And that makes it official.
Lon, you ever seen the Honeymooners?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Norton! Nice shot!
To the moon he's going. Scott Norton with the win. He moves through. Now he gets to take on Deadeye Walter Ray Williams Jr.